Hey, it's Alex Williams of the New Stack here at Node.js Interactive, and joined here today with Dan Shaw, CTO and one of the founders of NodeSource, and Joe Doyle, a solutions architect with NodeSource.
How you doing?
Great. And so, I preface our conversation by thinking about solutions in the context of Node, because I don't often think about solutions in the context of Node. I think of Java in the context of Node, right?
Right.
But here we are, we're in a different age right now.
Yep.
We're seeing much more of a commonality between the front end teams and the back end teams.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a paradox here because Node's supposed to be so simple. But when you see kind of the binding of these two different teams, we're starting to see the need for more intricate ways to actually manage that relation. What are the interfaces? What are the processes? Because really the goal increasingly for companies is around scale, right? And turning those and figuring out how do you scale out your operations, right? So I'm just curious about your guys' view on this, right? And how you view solutions in the context of in comparison to this kind of these overall movements.
Mm. So I'd like to look at that at a macro level for a moment.
Sure.
And there are two things that are happening. We need to move faster, and everybody's becoming a technology company.
Right.
So yes, Node in isolation is simple, but Node is being used as a tool to solve incredibly hard problems, right? So in the enterprise, you have the blessing and the curse of your legacy that that got you to the point where you are. I say blessing because it's a great opportunity to grow and get to that point. It's this rare phenomenon that companies really make it there. So I try to emphasize to coming from my startup experience when I'm engaged with the enterprise, it's really, yes, it is causing you engineering pain today, but the fact that the company has that legacy is its value, and literally its value. But what we need to do today is move faster.
Yeah, there is a value in not starting from scratch.
Right. So there's the customer base, the existing buy-in to the products and services, but we need to deliver them in more rapidly and on an incredible plurality of platforms. So we're serving web and bots and special use devices, IoT, desktop platforms. All of those need to come together. So we have very simple tools that are solving really complex problems.
So how do solutions fit into that?
So solutions really fit into a lot of the story of Node, where it's kind of grown up is, hey, we're a startup, we get to move fast, we get to look at new technologies and really jump into that. But as enterprises see the value of Node, they want to adopt that same principle. Let's move fast, let's build new technologies, and really grow. But at the same time, they have a long history of, we've been running Java on this cloud platform. We've been using this tool set for our .NET applications. And the struggle that they run into is, great, how do I now introduce Node into those same platforms that I've been using with these other technologies for the last 10 years? So it's really architecting, how do we put those together, come up with a way that fits into the enterprise model that exists today, because they can't afford to throw everything else away. Right. They need to integrate with what they have today, their current operations, their current processes. So we look at how do we structure answers for Node.js to fit into those larger environments.
So you guys face a challenge though, right? Mm-hmm. Because this is a challenge of any, relatively newcomer technology, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a challenge both in being the newcomer and really the timing of the market itself, right?
Yes.
where are we right now? Compare that to a year ago, right? You know, you talk about the, you know, like the pain points of scaling, right?
Yep.
And we know about Node, right? But what are the driving kind of dynamics that you are hearing from customers out there, and you know, and how then are you responding, you know, to them by offering, you know, this new capability?
So today's customers want to get things done. The moment of pure early adopter Node is, we've moved through that phase, and we're at a point where Node is a proven technology to light the fire of digital transformation. So that has been proven out over the last couple of years. We've seen the examples at PayPal and Netflix and how they've radically transformed their platforms and been able to turn from being emburdened by their technology platforms to turn that into a really technology enabler and a powerhouse of being able to iterate and respond to customer need. But the adopters that are coming today want solutions that are packaged, want the answers easily and readily accessible to them as they're building their applications. Because they're building their applications, they aren't building out Node infrastructure. They aren't building out all of the things that they need to be able to do that. They're plugging in. It's just that they want to plug in Node into their orchestration platforms, their CI/CD platforms. So that all just needs to work in the same way that everything else is working. And so to deliver that and to package that in a way that customers are able to do that, we have products that our Anchor flagship product is a commercial Node.js runtime that is secure, reliable, and extensible. So you can plug into the infrastructure that you need to operate Node effectively at scale. And yesterday here at Node.js Interactive, we announced certain NodeSource certified modules, which enable companies to really begin to get their hands around all of the fantastic packages that are available in the Node.js package ecosystem, but really need better quality indicators and security, and again, extensibility. So all of that infrastructure can plug into CI/CD and really be a part of the digital transformation story.
So what is your guys' process when you go and talk to these customers and getting them going? I mean, this is a solution story, really, and it just kind of strikes me as kind of that there's a paradox of it, right? And you were talking about Node, but it's also a solution story. So what are you going in and doing, and what are you saying to them, and what are you hearing back from them, and what does that lead to?
Sure. So it's a lot of discovery, right? It's a lot of asking questions, because many of the companies that we deal with, they've already made the choice to go with Node. And based on the way that Node interacts with the front end and back end, a lot of companies may already be using Node for their front end tooling. They're bundling up their website, they're using like a Babel or a React, and Node is there. But the problem is they don't necessarily know, are they going the right direction when we're moving from front end tooling to back end microservices, web frameworks, server type technologies. So really our drive is, where are you today? How can we help move you forward? Where are your concerns? As you move to the enterprise, security, compliance, all those kind of words come up where they traditionally haven't come up with Node in the past. So now we want to be able to help structure their infrastructure, leveraging the tools like NSolid, certified modules, to give them the peace of mind that we can help lay out a roadmap that answers their tougher questions from the enterprise side, while still being able to piece together their applications with the joy and speed that writing a Node.js application offers.
What are some of the patterns you're seeing in the questions that they're asking?
Number one is containers, right?
Really?
Docker, Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry, OpenShift, like all the things that help bundle applications. enterprises have largely leveraged these with a lot of other technologies. So they're looking for, how do we implement that same pattern with Node? How do we get our applications in these platforms running, get our infrastructure going, hook it up to our monitoring? So really a lot of guidance around that has been a key driver for a lot of companies we work with.
I mean, so you guys are targeting customers out there who are using Node already, right? Are they already using containers?
Most of them are. It's the ones that are still looking on bare bones infrastructure are often having a group that are working to move to that direction. And then Node is often the introductory technology that is going to go inside the containers first. And it's been an interesting kind of shift that I've seen.
So then you need to talk with them about orchestration then.
Exactly.
Right.
And so then they must have obvious questions about that.
Right. A lot of them are aware that maybe vanilla Docker isn't enough for what they need. So they've already kind of moved past that. So a lot of interest in Kubernetes, a lot of interest in kind of platform as a service type offerings that help with that automatically, but we just got to get Node into it.
Do they ask about containers before they ask about microservices? Do microservices even come up?
They do, and I think it's an interesting collusion of the two terms sometimes, is that when they're talking containers and images, they've kind of already made that mental leap to microservices. Right. Not everybody, but that's a trend that they've heard that messaging, and they see that's where containerization can automatically lead to, so it gets kind of colluded together.
So they don't really, the microservice is like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
We
It's a service.
We need to get this done.
Yeah.
It's a service and it's kind of small.
Right.
Yeah.
So do they need knowledge about the ecosystems overall? I mean, how versed are these companies in open source?
So that varies dramatically. I think part of to an earlier kind of statement, the phase that we're moving into is, we had the really early adopters with Node, people screwing around with things, creating frameworks. But then it was kind of slid to the enterprise. We kind of had the enterprise pioneers, where companies like PayPal and Walmart would start to build their own frameworks to leverage Node. And then now we're in the phase where it's kind of everyone else is coming along. They don't have time to necessarily develop their own thing. So they have an understanding that Node is open source, that there are open source frameworks they can leverage. And a lot of times they get all that, but they're looking for guidance as to, what do I choose? Which one is right? And that's a big problem that we're trying to solve.
And I don't think that the impetus for the adoption of open source technologies is necessarily the open source part of it. In many cases, it's the critical mass and not solving those problems, and having the standards, the baselines to be able to operate and solve the corporate problems that they have, solve the application problems and deliver the user experiences that they need, and Node is the most popular tool for that, and Node is great. Our developers love Node, but the draw isn't Node because it's open source, but it's Node because Node's awesome and it's popular, and it operates in the way that I expect it to operate, doing what I'm trying to accomplish.
That makes sense. I'm when we talk about scale, you're inevitably going to run into open source ecosystems, right?
Yep.
So they probably have run into open source ecosystems already, because inherently they're using Node, right? Right.
Yep.
So they're a little bit more accustomed then to this shift.
Right. At an enterprise level, there's also just license, riffing on open source, there's the license issue around open source.
Right.
So that is actually, a real challenge that, customers of ours deal with, where they're trying to make sure that the packages that they're bringing into their IP, their applications, are compatible with their licensing, their IP policies. So one of the things beyond security that we're introducing with NodeSource certified modules is the compliance aspect of making sure that we're surfacing and protecting against licenses that are considered harmful in these enterprise situations. So adding GPL licensed modules, which exist in the Node.js package ecosystem, is potentially ruinous. So having IP get polluted with something like that, is really a situation that these enterprise customers that are leveraging open source, that are using open source, that are participating in the ecosystem, taking advantage of the components that exist that can accelerate development, need that additional assistance of really being able to again wrap your arms around what's going on with all these packages. What is it quality? Is it safe? Is it secure? And can I use it effectively with the right license rights?
This leads to all kinds of interesting kind of questions about continuous delivery, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I'm curious on like the phases of like your implementation then with these customers though, because they're obviously using Node, they're asking about containers. Mm-hmm. Now they've got to think about they need to think about lots of different issues like the modules and how you get them certified, so you have that process. Right. What's where are you taking customers and like and how does it work over the longer term? Because there's issues that come up like when you talk about compliance, right? Mm-hmm. Like one of the concepts we hear more about are data pipelines, right? And the ability to like I just want to add a new database. Let me put it into the pipeline. The pipeline should be able to look at the metadata and be able to make some kind of deductions about what this is, are the licenses correct, and everything else, right? Is there a similar kind of thinking that you guys have about that, or is it different? What's the context here?
So a lot of the approach that we're trying to take, especially with the certified modules, is the danger can be getting the modules even there. Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to look to do as an approach is, as part of the normal pipeline, you're going to be installing your modules, part of your CI/CD process. But instead, when you're talking to us, we're using our certified module registry to limit what can come down. Mm-hmm. So we can help stop the possibly invalid packages coming down even during the build process, so that you can't have anything slip through is the main issue for a lot of these companies. So by applying a lot of these policies up at our certified module registry level, we can guarantee that, yes, based on your policies that you specified, nothing's going to get by before you even have to worry about your deployment.
So are you a software company and a consulting company then?
No, software company.
So the solutions, though, automatically make you think of consulting, right? I mean, there's like, you're building solutions for companies. These are custom solutions, and they need support, ongoing support for them, which often translates into consulting to some degree. No,
we're really looking to enable companies to use Node effectively. That doesn't, like, if there's a need to bring in an agency, we have partners that we can hand off
do that
to do that,
right?
So
but you want to focus, so when you go in there, you're focusing on bringing them the software.
We're focused on bringing them to NSolid. How they're integrating NodeSource into their platform, their needs, their pain, and how we solve that pain. And oftentimes it is in that broader context of continuous delivery, digital transformation, and there are all these other choices that need to be fit up. It's a pretty complex puzzle that everything needs to work, and then when you've dialed things and when you can leverage all the orchestration infrastructure, it's amazing. We talked in another session about how we manage orchestration and the difference of orchestration today versus 4 years ago. We can really plug into well-defined APIs that enable us to do complex orchestration tasks, and do that simply, at scale, at really incredible scale. So being able to integrate and fit into that infrastructure that accelerates the adoption of this technology and the adoption of NodeSource products.
So where do you guys go from here? So now you have this, you have this solutions capability. Right. You have now this platform for certifying modules,
Right.
NSolid has been around. Where do you guys go from here in 2017?
So 2017, at NodeSource, we'll continue to do what we've done, from our inception, is listening to our customers. There's, as the market grows and as the platforms for orchestration, for CI/CD, for APM, crystallize and line up, we're going to be making sure that NodeSource products easily integrate, and you have that same sort of mantra of security, reliability, and extensibility, and we're plugging that into the infrastructure that companies need to work effectively with Node.js.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you both for taking the time to talk. This has been very
you,
interesting for
Absolutely.
me.
Yeah, thank you.
I've learned a lot. We look forward to keeping in touch over the next year.
Great.
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.